Yo, what's up? This is ZuluMafia, and you're watching Funsion.
Zulu, thank you, man. Thank you for giving us time. I don't feel busy schedule. Thank you. I really appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
As I spoke offline, we just want to talk about the whole quarter, 90% local, 10% international, and how can upcoming house music producers get their music on radio. First thing first, how do you feel about this new quarter?
Well, this new quarter, it's a great thing. It's a great suggestion. I think it's gonna work wonders. It's gonna uplift South African artists. However, there is a slight bit of a problem with it, because now when this 90% quarter thing started, I think the compilers, radio station compilers, they were not ready for such, and I think there was a certain level of undermining South African music, especially new talent. You know, when you're new talent, it's not that easy to get that chance to be given an opportunity to get your music played on radio. So what's happening is we're getting old music playing, like classics and whatnot, and not as much as new music from real new talent. So at the end of the day, it's still a good thing. It's a good thing. It's uplifting our own artists, building our own economy, because if we have mostly South African music being played on radio, it means more money for South African musicians, you know. But now there's also a bit of a problem, because now the music that's being compiled, you know, I think right now there's more hip hop and pop music being compiled more than Afro pop, R&B, and house, you know. And it's okay. I think it makes sense to a certain level, because hip hop right now is kind of like how can I put this, it's on its peak right now, and everyone is into it. Everyone is doing hip hop, and that's okay. However, there's a how can I put this? It's tough for the new talent, the new guys, to actually put their music on radio stations and submit their music, because there is no, how can I put this? There is no faith in them. There's no new talent. There's no trust in new talent. You know.
Okay, so you thinking the compilers or the radio stations do not have much faith in South Africa's new talent?
Yeah, of course. I don't think there is much faith, you know. Also, it might be the way guys that are submitting the music on radio stations. I think maybe that might be another problem for the compilers, you know. But I'm gonna speak from my personal experience, that I've always submitted high quality, the shortest version I can radio edit. It doesn't go beyond 4 minutes. You know, I've always made sure that I meet their criteria, so that I don't have any situation where they say, no, it's because your song was like this, it's because your song was like this.
What are the criteria for?
I think the criteria for most radio stations is your song shouldn't be long. I think it's 4 or 5 minutes, shouldn't be longer than that. And it should be high quality. Some of them they say not more than 5 megabytes, you know. And yeah, I think the rest just has to be a good song. Just has to be a good song, you know. If it's bad, then you have to bribe. I don't know. I don't really know how this works.
Yeah.
I don't really know how this works. Yeah.
So, and the submission, how is it done? Do they want the physical demo? Do they want it through an email or a link?
They accept both, but I think the most efficient one is the classic CD printed disc. You know, where you have all your details on the disc, your publisher, your ISRC codes, you know, the label, basically everything about the songwriter, composer, all those things.
And then when it comes to the graphics of the demo, should it be professional or they just want a blank CD?
No, it has to be. It has to be printed. It has to be printed out. I don't think they can take it if it's handwritten. I think it has to be printed out nicely. Presented nicely, like you present a demo to a professional company, like that. However, I do feel that on that part, that situation is kind of, I wouldn't say a waste of time, because there are many people who drop off their CDs there, and compilers, I don't think they have really the time to really listen to all of them. However, it's their job. I don't know really. I'm not really sure if they do that for real. So that's about it. That's about the thing that you can submit like that. On email, you can try and submit on the email, on the compiler's email. Send them an email, write your details there, all of your details. You send the song, you attach it, or you send it with something. I don't know, either way. And see if you get a response. I personally, I've only gotten a response from a few radio stations, and those are not the most popular ones, And if there was a popular radio station where I got my song in there, it's because I actually called the guy and I was like, can you assist me? Someone who actually works there. It's like, no, send to me with your details. I will give it to so and so personally. Or if I met a DJ in a club or so maybe Glenn Lewis or someone, I'd give them my track or something. Or the one that always works for me, but it's not really playlisting the music on the radio station, but playing it on their show. Every time I give my song to Vinny or Christos, they always play it on their show. There are also other guys that are on Metro and other radio stations. When I give them my song, they'll play it on their show, but not playlisted as much,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now, are there certain days that an artist should submit their music to the radio?
I don't really know anything about that, but I can tell you that I don't think there is a specific day that you can submit to that. No, this is the day, open day for submission, I believe you submit every day, or, I think every day is I think during the week, on a weekday, because it's business days, I think these are the things that compilers should be expecting. I mean, there's millions of songs out there, There's millions of them. Millions of them are good. The other millions are bad. That's just how it is, but that's just how it is.
Now, for someone, because there are different producers. There are producers who love to do instrumental music.
Yeah.
Others want to work with vocalists. Now, the one who likes to work with only instrumental songs, what advice would you give them? Like, what type of an instrumental song could be played on radio, especially house music instrumental song?
Well, for house music, I believe in generally music, music should have vocals generally, but with house music, there's a certain culture to it. We have dub mixes and instrumental mixes like that, and mostly those mixes and the instrumentals, they're really, most of the time, they're meant for a DJ to play in a club or a party or whatever. However, radio does prefer vocals over instrumentals. I've been told this several times, even from my teenage years when I was in high school trying to submit all my instrumentals. DJ Popstar would tell me, Guti, we need vocalists, we need songs with vocals. Oskido said it at the conference in 2010. He said, guys, if your song does not have vocals on it, the chances of it being played are very slim.
But now, let's say the instrumental song is big on the streets, underground, in the clubs. Are the radio stations not supposed to play it?
Exactly. At that point, I guess they don't have a choice, because now it's the people's choice. The people are saying, we love this song, we love this, and the radio has to meet people's demands. You know, if the people saying we love this song, and of course the radio will pick it up, it's like, this is the most popular song right now in the streets, they'll play that song, because of course people need to hear that thing on the radio, you know, because if the radio doesn't have that song, people will be calling, you know, on shows, can you please play me this song? And you know, the radio DJ will be like, what the hell is that, you know? And that will be embarrassing, like, you don't know the biggest song on the streets right now. That is sad, you know. So in that case, I don't think the radio station has a choice, you know. Yeah.
So how can upcoming producers push their music on the streets for the radio, or rather for the listeners to demand it on radio, and then for the radio to finally play it?
This is what I've been doing for the past years. I've been giving my music to friends, you know, in the same neighborhood, you know. I don't really sell them my music. I make sure that they have my songs, and because they're my friends, they will support my music, and whenever they're playing around, they will play it, you know. If it fits in their set, they'll play it, and those are one of the things that make a song big. Giving it to school children, you know, they have phones now, having them play it on their phones. I've heard my song so many times on cell phones, kids playing it at the corner of the streets there, they're chilling there, the group of guys, you know, they're playing the song, you know. I mean, they're underage to be in the club, so they have the songs on their phone and just playing it, you know. And they'll pass it to the next one through Bluetooth or memory card or whatnot, to the next one, you know. And then you have like a whole lot of people who have your song, you know. And then when they do play it out loud, maybe they put it on a CD, or maybe they're having a house party or a backyard session, or just chilling, even in cars, people will play it in their cars, you know. That generally does promote a song. So if you don't hold on to your song like you know, like that much of an exclusive. Just if you want to push your song, and if you're ready for it to be out there, just give it to people, you know. Of course, I'm not saying don't sell your song online, but always make sure you give it to the people around you, you know. And those that ask for it, those that are not really how can I put this exposed to the digital world of buying music, and your song is not really on an album yet, it's okay. It's the new way of pushing things right now, you know. You Casper Vest, AK, and all of the guys, they do it now. They know that there is no much revenue in just keeping your song exclusive and just putting it online and selling it, but there is a revenue if your song comes back, you know. I'm not saying you do that with all of your music, just to push, to give your song a little bit of a push. You just give it to the other people, the masses. Make sure they have your song, they know who you are. You have a chance of getting your song to be big out there.
And then obviously the listeners will request your songs on radio.
Of course they will request it, you know.
Because if most people have your song and not getting airplay, Sandra won't pay you.
Yeah, if it's not being played, then you won't get paid for it.
So what other advice would you give the upcoming house music producers?
I'd advise them that especially house music producers, I feel like you know, the new school house cats, you know, don't really know what house music is, real house music is, you know. And the way things that are happening, I don't think they will ever know unless they take it into themselves that, you know what, I will go back and understand house music and listen to the greatest house music songs that have been played, that have been big in South Africa. The songs that actually built some of South Africa's artists, you know. There's a song, there's a house song that I still play today. It wasn't necessarily big, that song. The song was done by Halo, you know, and it was a house song. It's called Reaching. And that song, what happened is the song was, I think Boom Shaka, the producers, they sort of sampled that song and they used it for Boom Shaka, and it became a huge song. But generally that song is a deep house song, you know. And you know, I'd listen to albums like Botebe, you know, and I listen to the influence behind their production, that okay, this is house music influenced, you know, even though they say it's Kwaito, but you can hear that it's house music influenced. You know, just the other day I was listening to certain songs in Mendoza's album, you know, and then there was a song I was listening to in Mendoza's album, and then I could hear that this song is house music influenced. And then what I did is I got so much inspired that I went to the studio and I started producing. Like, I'm gonna produce something housey, something like that, but housey, because that song reminded me of something, you know. And those are some of the things that the new school kids should pick up on, you know. I understand there are new genres, there's new things that are being, you know, played, new type of styles, you understand? But the fundamentals of the basics of what house music is, that one you should definitely know, so you can be able to maneuver around all of them. You know, I've been through the new school house music, you know, I'm a piano and all of them. I can basically do any type of house music I want to do. You know, I'm that type of producer. But at the end of the day, I also understand what is right, what is real house music, you know, and that's the purpose at the end of the day for house music, you know. Yeah, that's it, you know. Of course, we have Amayama influences as well, like, you know, there's Ilo, there's what we call, what they call the sound, the Enzo Ihuru. They don't really call it tribal, they call it Afro something, you know?
Afro, yeah.
Yeah, they call it Afro something, they don't really call it house music, you know. Sometimes they call it dance music, sometimes, you know, there's a huge difference, you know. If you can go back to the history of house music, you'll understand that there's a huge difference between some of the things that we might call house music. That's why even with most Devon artists, they don't really say house music, they say Kwaito, Devon Kwaito, or whatever term that they call it, you know, because they also understand what is house music. So this is that advice to all the new school cats, new producers, young producers out there who are getting exposed to this new age house. It's fun, it's nice, but try and get a background of what real house music is, and you know, make sure you master your craft. You know, you make sure that your production is nice and clean before you take it out there. You know, because we have some embarrassing songs out there. I'm just not gonna lie, I'm just gonna put it out there. You know, I would get a song and an email, and I'd be afraid to put them down and be like, you know what, just go and buy a MIDI keyboard, work on your sound. Eventually it'll be fine. You know, we're all still working on our sound. You know, even I struggle sometimes. You know, but eventually I get what I'm looking for with the hard work, and I've got experience. I've been doing this from a very early age, you know, so I've got experience, so I know what I'm doing. So I suggest all the young producers, you know, get experience like that as well. You know, you stay indoors, you listen to house music, you know, you make sure you try, and sometimes it's good to try and imitate something good so you understand how it's done, you know. I mean, for the longest time I also tried and listened from guys like Rocco and Spina. You know, I would listen and then I would try and do what they're doing. And it's not even about doing the style, but when you listen to the bass of a song, understand how is that bass, how is it done, you know, how do you do such a bass, you know. Also with, you know, when Manu and people like Tulo's song and Black Coffee came into the picture, you know, I would study Tulo the song the first early years when he came into the picture, you know. And he inspired me a lot because he was young. I was young, you know. I wanted to be him like so badly. I wanted to be like him, you know. He inspired me a lot. He influenced my past actually. I used to do tribal music a lot. You know, it inspired it very much, you know. And I would listen to him. I would listen how he would put down a cake, how hard it would be, how compressed it would be, you know, the arrangements, you know, the feel, you know. Those are the things I would check out, and then I would try and implement them myself, you know. And in time, it worked out. It worked out. I was able to execute the sound properly. You know, it might not have lasted, but I was able to execute the sound. I have songs out there. I can still execute the sound anytime I want, you know. Like I said earlier on, I'm that kind of a producer. I'm not the kind of guy to just, you know, stick to one sound, you know. I don't know. I think I get bored easily. You know, I think I get bored. So I'm not the kind of guy to stick to one thing. So I'll move from doing deep house, from doing tech, you know, soul, you know, jazz, you know, amapiano, you know, broken beats, you know. I've even done hip hop recently, you know. I've produced hip hop songs, you know, and those are some of the things that even blues like general slow jam blues. I've produced some of those as well, you know. So for me, I think it's a matter of just music, not just house music, you know. But my main field is house, but general music is, you know, it's my field. It's something that I do. It's just music, you know. That's why I cannot say, oh, no, I can't specialize on instrumentals or whatnot, you know. There's a certain genre like, no, it's just an instrumental, you know, doing a dub or whatnot. It would be an instrumental. What are you doing? You're doing a certain song, Afropop or whatnot. Can't really be an instrumental. It needs vocals, you know. So that's what generally I believe, you know. I just believe in doing good music, you know. I can do all sorts of music. Well, at least I try. I try my best, you know, to fit in every genre. Yeah.